Hi, welcome to the Elle Russ Show, where I deliver content intended to inspire, educate, and motivate. Engage with me online at elleruss.com and on social media. Enjoy the show. Hey everyone, just a quick 1-minute announcement to let you know about my virtual courses and free masterclasses. I have courses and free masterclasses based on both of my books. I have the Ultimate Thyroid Course. This is your answer to solving any thyroid issue, whether it be Hashimoto's, radioactive iodine, thyroidectomy after thyroid cancer, or just general hypothyroidism. Reverse T3 issues as well. It's an incredible value at 17 modules and 29 hours of content with amazing guest expert tutorials. I also offer the Ultimate Confidence Course. That is 15 modules and 14 hours with also a few guest expert tutorials. An incredible value, and I have free masterclasses on both of those topics as well. Visit elleruss.com to learn more. Hey there, everyone. I want to talk today about self-promotion because we need it in every area of our life. And I know this is a hard place for people because they feel that they want to be humble, that they don't want to brag about themselves, that somehow putting oneself forward or pitching oneself, selling oneself, and or your company, your goods, your wares, whatever it is a little bit like self-aggrandizing. I would like you to think differently about this. I am where I am today because of self-promotion, or I would say the lack of fear of putting oneself out there, speaking up. My life is literally the example of never hurts to ask, because every time I do, it's been a yes. And there's been a few that weren't, but you know what? Didn't hurt. At least I tried. And sometimes those efforts have even led to something else, because even if it was an initial no, that person remembered me and was like, oh, hey, and it would circle back around like, oh, I found another thing though. And so you never know what you open up by just asking. I knew someone who met their significant other because they just decided to throw out one day like, hey, you know what? If you know anyone, I'm looking for a relationship, blah, blah, blah. If you feel anyone's right for me. And they got set up on a blind date and the rest is history. Never hurts to ask. Now, what if their friends never had anybody to hook them up with? Well, okay. But the thing is that they wouldn't have even known had she not expressed that. So it never hurts to ask is a good mantra to have. What do I have to lose? Nothing, right? What do you have to lose from where you're at? There are a lot of people who are afraid of trying something new. And then they go, well, what if it doesn't work out? And you go, right, well, then you're right where you are right now. You see? So what holds us back and keeps us spinning on a hamster wheel in our current situation and not moving forward is usually a lack of confidence when it comes to self-promotion. But self-promotion in and of itself just is and embodies confidence. So how do you get over feeling weird about this? Well, first of all, you really have to break it down. What is it that you're trying to achieve that you love to do that you need to self-promote about? Are you an artist who is painting paintings and you need to sell your paintings? Well, that might involve calling lots of gallery owners, stopping by to meet them in person. That is all self-promotion and that is all forward-facing, right? You're up there, you got to walk in, shake the hand, look them in the eye and pitch something. Hey, I'd love to have a chat with you. Can I take you out for coffee? To show you some of my artwork? No one is going to come to your house. Now, in the day of social media, this is great. This is a way to sort of self-promote and sort of hide behind the face-to-face reality. So some of you out there might not even need to promote the face-to-face. Maybe you just need to, post your paintings on Instagram, and that's enough getting out there and self-promoting. And in a way, that can be a lot easier. So with the advent of social media, it is a little bit easier to self-promote without really kind of putting oneself out there. But also the age of technology helps with this. Back in the day, right, you'd have to cold call someone to sort of pitch yourself to them, try to get someone on the phone. We have email. You can email people. There's submission forms. Almost every podcast, now after the first round of podcasts, people do come to me and ask me to be on their show, which is really nice because they've probably heard me somewhere or someone recommended me. But initially, I pitched myself to be on a bunch of podcasts when I published the Paleo Thyroid Solution, and I kept going. And one of the reasons my book was number one, also at Primal Blueprint, even above Mark Sisson's book for the last couple of years, was because of the staunch self-promotion. Self-promotion sounds like a bad word, but what is it really? It's me sharing information about information I'd like to share, right? I have a book filled with information that could help people. How else are you going to get the word out about your product, your business, your service, your coaching, or whatever it is? So I don't care if you're a coach or an author, you have some physical products, it doesn't really matter. What if you're in a 9-to-5 job and you're like, well, I don't really need to self-promote? Yeah, you do. How do you get ahead? If there's a promotion that's available, you're going to need to step up. I always feel this way, and I used to be an employer, meaning I hired people for several years. I would say this about that. If you know there is a position you want to throw your hat in the ring for, go throw your fucking hat in the ring for it. Get in there, talk to the manager, the boss, whoever it is, about, hey, I would love to throw my hat in the ring for this position. And let me tell you why I think that I'm right for it. You have to sell me as an employer on why I should hire you, right? Keep you employed, give you a raise, etc. That's based on your performance. But I will tell you this, it's the people that come forward with confidence in this kind of way, like in the promotion example, that is, it'll really tip the scales in your favor. Because if I had someone come to me a little bit hungry for that, but confident enough and presented themselves in a certain way, they would probably gain favor of my choice to promote over someone that didn't. And so I like to see that, and people like to see that, because people who self-promote, essentially, that quality, that moment of the self-promotion is confidence. That's confidence. We like to see confidence in hiring people. We want employees to be confident. So don't just wait and hope for the promotion. Go tell them you like to do it. And is there anything I can work on? Let me tell you why I think I'm right for it. And then I'd love to hear some constructive criticism from you on what you think I can work on to get there. Do you know what I mean? And then you hear that out. You're not defensive. That would be a whole nother, coaching conversation or a podcast. But I want you to start thinking about self-promotion in a different way. It could be anything. I don't care if you want to be like head of the PTA, you got to get voted, or right, like whatever it is that you want in life, you have to self-promote. And it's not to say you have to be cheesy about it. I don't try to sell my book to everyone on the street who meets me and knows that I'm an author. I'm not like, oh, you should totally go read my book. Yeah, here's the website. Like, I let people go figure that out for themselves. And I'm not really selling myself out there in the real world if I'm at a party or at a wedding. In fact, I sort of prefer not to maybe talk too much about myself in those moments. But when it comes to pitching yourself for things, promotion, the top mom at the PTA meeting, or the person who's going to run the party, it doesn't even really matter what you're vying for. Start to think about it in terms of, you love this, you want to do it. There's only one way to get there. Don't wait to be chosen. Go forward and say, hi, please choose me. And if they don't, they don't. They'll remember you though. I recently interviewed someone who was fantastic. And I actually had put out, normally I don't worry about getting guests. It's never an issue. But someone had told me about some website where you can post that you have a podcast and people can like pitch stuff to you. So I thought, well, you know what? You never know who you're going to find. There might be someone good, and what the hell? So I got like a ton of emails, and for the most part, I wasn't really interested in a lot of the pitches. But I got a personal pitch, not from a PR agent, but from an author. And they pitched themselves to me, and I looked at their stuff and I was like, love it. And then after we spoke, they were such a good interview. I said, you should really do this more. You really, we had a little bit of a shop talk about getting on podcasts, because that worked for her. She pitched herself. I'm so impressed by her. I'll probably recommend her to a couple of other podcasters because she's such a goddamn good interviewee. And she pitched herself. She was out there. She looked through that list and goes, oh, I'm on this email list. Oh, there's this new podcast. Oh, this description fits. Hey, let me go ahead and email this woman, Elle, and see if she'll have me on her show. That's how she got on my show. So I love it when people personally pitch to me. I actually like it sometimes more than if a PR agent does, but I understand that people have those, those representatives for a reason. The fear of rejection is what gets us out of moving forward. This weekend, I was at a couple weekends ago. Now, by the time this is out, I was at a wedding, and there's someone's wife there was an actor, and I have a history, I'm technically still an actor. I'm a member of the SAG-AFTRA union. I've been in TV and film. And so we were just talking about it. I was giving her some pointers because she's much younger than me and, has like a lot more ahead of her in terms of roles. And so I was just kind of giving her tips, and we're talking. And I was talking to her about how, whether it goes the way she wants or not, it's probably one of the best things she could ever do. And she said, because of the constant rejection. And you get to not care after a while because you realize that it's not personal. So for example, I was telling her I used to intern at casting offices, so I would see all the behind the scenes stuff. And I remember one day there was a co-star role, which is like a 5-line role on like a Law and Order or something, where maybe the guy walks in and says, "Hey sir, here's your manila envelope, this came in late." Okay, like 5 lines, literally. And so there was a line, in the waiting room of all of these actors and for this, small part. But I was working in the office and I had just learned that they already cast the role, and it was to the producer of the show's son who got the acting role. Now, I'm feeling bad in that moment because I'm like, wow, all these people in this waiting room are going to come in and audition for a role that has already been given away. They have no idea that they don't even have a chance at this role. They're still going to audition. Why? Because the casting director probably wants to see them, see how they do, put a check mark. Hey, bring this guy in again. They probably were seeing lots of new people that day for a 5-line role. You don't have Nicole Kidman coming in for a 5-line role on a show, right? So these were probably new people and they still wanted to see them. But each of those people walked out that day probably wondering, checking their phone for 48 hours to see if they had gotten it or how they did. And some of them probably felt rejected or maybe took it personally when they didn't get it. And all along, they had no idea that they never even had a shot because it was already given away in the morning to the producer's son. You can't take shit personally. You have to start to work on that. So any rejection you can't take personally. It seems more personal when it's you, right? It's you and your acting, you and your talent, you and your cello playing, right? And you don't get in the symphony, or the publisher doesn't like your book. I would like to remind everyone, though, that J.K. Rowling with Harry Potter pitched it and just sent it off, broke and like on, food stamp situation, randomly mailed it to like 40 publishers, and I think only, or 100, and I think like only one of them, it was only one of them that was like, hey, we like this. So you just have to keep throwing darts against the wall and not take it personally when they don't hit, and take the pride and simmer in the pride that you fucking did it, that you actually did speak up, that you did. Never hurts to ask. I might as well just ask. It doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? I absolutely appreciate that all the time. Now, I also, too, feel that having the backdrop of a confidence and a surety in one's success and prevailing in life is a good platform in general for these moments, because then you're never desperately self-promoting. So it really comes from, if you're desperately self-promoting, you might be, promoting yourself when you shouldn't. It's not the right place. And here you are telling people to buy your product, or maybe you're too pushy, or whatever the thing is. I'm not for hard sales and hard self-promotion. Well, maybe not hard self-promotion, but like hard sales, I don't like. So, if you're feeling awkward about a moment, I get that. But for the most part, if you need to open up a new client, you want to pitch to a new vendor, you want to get on a podcast because you're a coach or an author, or you want to have your book published, or whatever it is, you have to put yourself out of there. What have you been kind of laying by the wayside? Are there some emails you could do? Maybe you start soft on emails and DMs. You know what I mean? Maybe you call one person to pitch yourself to who you feel better about, right? You can hide behind email for so long, and you can hide behind social media, and that's fine. Get a good pitch together for yourself. Start getting out there. Start calling around, even making friends, even if you don't know what it is, what kind of career that you want exactly, but you know the arena, start to reach out and find people who work in that arena and say, hey, you know what? I'm just really curious about this profession. Or, hey, you seem to do really well at getting yourself on podcasts, or I see you interview all the time. What are some tips you can give me? You can also ask fellow podcasters as well. So there are so many avenues for people to self-promote nowadays. Again, you can do it on social media for free and paid, right? You could do it in video or again, email format. You can pitch yourself for podcasts. You can, call up, right? Local symphonies, local whatever, if you need to audition for something creative. But 2023, man, we talked about intentions on one of these last solo episodes, and this one is to take it a step further. Think about how you can self-promote. What are the ways that you feel perhaps your lack of confidence have hindered you promoting yourself? And what's that about? Now, like, even if people laughed at you, like, okay, like, which doesn't happen, but even if you brought your artwork over and showed it to a gallery owner and he laughed in your face. All right, that could happen. You know what? How about this? Just go into everyone expecting and being prepared for it, right? And then you expect the worst and the outcome might not be that bad. Sort of one of those. In general, I'd like everyone to go with the intention that it's going to be well received. You never know if that gallery owner, maybe your art is not right for them, but 2 weeks from now, they meet another new art gallery owner that likes your shit, likes your type of art. And maybe he goes, oh, hey, you know what? I just met an artist. You just don't know. Every little seed you plant, doesn't hurt to ask, every little self-promotion move leads to something and opens up more potentials and possibilities to collapse in this world. So you just never know. So many of those things have happened. The moment you self-promote, that energy is out there. Something good's going to come from it. And also, as I've said many times before, when you do a confidence move you haven't done in a while, it's a pro-you move. You usually find some kind of life prize goes on in there. Get some sort of prize from the universe. Something really good happens. It's always the case, especially if you've been struggling with it. So self-promotion really is the name of the game, no matter what. Even if you want to try to find a significant other and a romantic partner, it's self-promotion. It's not self-lying. It's not saying, hey, I'm a person I'm not. Self-promotion is not to be out of integrity. It's to be honest. But you're self-promoting. You're like, hey, I'm out here. I think I'd be a good match. Who are you? That's what online dating is, or that's what walking up to someone in a public place like a bar or restaurant and asking them out or buying them a drink or starting a conversation. That's where that all comes from. That's self-promotion. So we're living and simmering in a world of it. It's just a world of self-promotion. And I want you all to embrace this more. Embrace it. Start to have no shame about it. Understand that this is just how things are. And the people that are more successful in certain areas than you might be because of their self-promotion. So think about maybe making a list. How have I been hindered? What are some things I really want to do? And then what ways can I do that are minimal in self-promotion? Meaning, all right, here are the things I want to do self-promotion wise. Are there ways I could hide a little bit first? Could I email instead of phone call? Sometimes phone calls are better to connect, a name to a voice. Some people don't like to be bothered anymore with that. So again, maybe can I send off some emails, and follow up with a phone call, right? There's no harm in that. Even if you followed up with a phone call and the gallery owner was like, Jesus, I already got your email. I didn't respond for a reason. Fucking don't call her anymore, and hangs up. And you might go, oh my God, I blew my chance with them. I would say, no, you didn't, because they're a fucking asshole. And so good to know now that you're not going to deal with that asshole gallery owner, right? So you really have nothing to lose, but either more information to inform you in the right direction or opening up possibilities and potentials and knowledge of you. I can't tell you how many times I've met someone randomly through interviewing or whatever, and then a year or two later, someone brings up a topic, and I go, "Oh my God, hold on a minute! I know someone who did that. I hold on. Let me look up their book. Let me give you their website. This could help you." And that is because that person might have pitched themselves to me, or they might have hired someone to do the self-promotion for them. but they're doing it and they got to me, which then led me to have them in my mind in order to recall when someone needed someone on that topic. So it's all connected. It's all domino effect. It's all interwoven. Get into, right, the matrix, right? Like jump into the weave, get in there. If you're just sitting on the sidelines and just kind of sitting around or doing one thing and that's not working, what else can you do for self-promotion? 2023, you can do it. Pro You moves. You will always get a prize for stepping forward. And really, it never hurts to ask. I'm here to tell you that I am a success story based partially upon self-promotion, and it's really, really important. And I hope you all embrace it this year. All right, everyone, we'll see you next week. Hey, listeners, over the years, a ton of companies have approached me to collaborate, but I will only promote companies whose products I believe in and that I actually use and consume on a regular basis. So let me tell you about some of my favorite companies that I can offer you discounts for. Rep Provisions, an amazing company doing incredible things for our planet, topsoil, and animals with regenerative agriculture, and it's my #1 source for quality pasture-raised meat and chicken. Visit repprovisions.com and use code L15 for 15% off. I'm also obsessed with a company called Carnivore Crisps. They make a lean, all-natural, and delicious alternative to conventional snacking, made with just real meat and real salt. Totally addictive, and my favorite ones are the beef brisket and the ribeye. Visit carnivorecrisps.com and use code PALEO10 for 10% off. I also love and regularly use Paleo Valley products. They make amazing supplements and delicious paleo products. I use the superfood greens powder, grass-fed beef sticks, the organ complex, and their bone broth bars. I love the lemon and apple. I also use their essential C complex and more. Visit paleovalley.com/promos/Elle Russ for 15% off. I also love Primal Kitchen. They make delicious paleo-approved, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and no refined sugar products, and I use them daily, from their collagen powders and sauces and marinades to their avocado and olive oil. So good, so healthy. Visit primalkitchen.com and use code L10 for 10% off. I also love paleo powder and use it almost on everything I cook. They make incredible seasoning blends, and they also have these incredible grain-free coatings that feel just like crispy breadings that you would have had prior to knowing that there's another way. So visit paleopowder.com and use code L15 for 15% off.